guys. Thanks for visiting us at Sister Night Podcast. Please don't forget to visit our Facebook and Instagram at Sister Night Pod. And you can follow us at our blog at sisternightpodcast.com. And now onto our show.
Hey, welcome to Sister Night, our weekly podcast show where we discuss pop culture, the latest happenings, and dish advice on all things from love and relationships, business and career, and adulting in your 20s and 30s. My name is Maddie, and joining me every week are my sisters Cindy and Charlotte. Behind the scenes, we also have our brother Josh, who's in charge of all the sound editing stuff. Hey, girls!
Hey, how are you?
Hey! How are you guys? How's everyone feeling post-wedding?
Post-wedding, I'm just relaxing now. Let's just say that. I'm just getting to relax now. And today is what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
It took me a while to decompress from all the running around, but
I know.
How about you girls? You guys, Madeline, you drove. Ashley, you flew. How did it go?
Madeline, you go first. Oh, my goodness. Well, I feel you, Cindy. I'm, just now starting to feel somewhat normal. I took Monday, and I called out sick on Tuesday because Monday was just not enough. It was not enough time to, regroup. So, I went back to work today. It was, crazy. That's, the bad thing about taking days off, that when you come back, all this stuff, at least in my job, everything's waiting for you on the way back. So,
right.
But yeah, it's good. The baby's feeling a little better. He was a little sick down there. But yeah, we're finally getting back to normal a week later. How about you, Ashley? How was your trip?
Oh, yeah, I'm so glad that I came back on Sunday versus Monday. I slept the entire day on Monday. I did not. Everybody's wiped. I did not leave the apartment at
Mommy said the same thing. Mom said that she went to, when she went home on Monday, she just slept the whole day and left the bags by the door, and that was it.
Yeah, I did the same exact thing. I slept the entire day on Monday. We ordered in, I did not move. I was so tired. DW's like, how are you still tired? You slept all day. I'm like, I'm still tired. Let me be. Well, I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one. I mean, for those that are listening to us, the wedding weekend was not only a wedding, it was a crazy busy weekend, a full pack.
It was like an Indian wedding.
It was like an Indian wedding. It was 3 or 4 days long. Well, Thursday, you guys, Madeline drove. Ashley flew in. She landed Thursday at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was getting my nails, my pedi, a facial, a glowing facial. That was Thursday. Came back to the house. Took Ashley, brought her to the house, hung out for a little bit, did some things around the house, and then waiting for you guys to come. So you guys drove in. Oh, we went to pick up TW at the airport, so we had to go pick up TW and then pick up their rental car, and then we came back to the house, prepared for dinner. You guys came, had dinner, and that was a late night. You didn't leave till 10 o'clock?
10:30. It was
10:30?
Yeah.
So then I fell asleep at 11:30, 11:45. Well, how about you guys that night?
Yeah, it was a late night too, and then for whatever reason, Mommy woke up at 5 a.m. for a prayer conference call, and she had it on speakerphone.
Yeah.
I'm like, Really, Mom?
Yeah, she does that every weekend. She does do the prayer conference on the phone call.
I know, but I told her, put some headphones on. She had that on speaker, and me and the baby are trying to sleep, and anyway, so we were up very early on Friday with Mom.
So Friday morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we were up early. I was up early because I had to wash and blow dry my hair, and everyone else had to fix their hair because we had a family photo shoot Friday morning with
Casey Rose Photography down in North Carolina.
She was excellent. She was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that was good. It was an early morning, but I think it was worth it. I can't wait to see the pictures.
We did that photo shoot at Duke Gardens, which is a amazing set. If anyone's coming to North Carolina to take a photo shoot, I recommend coming to Duke Gardens because it was beautiful.
Yeah, it was nice. And then from there, we went to, I insisted on a pit stop back at the hotel because I just needed to regroup because it was an early morning. But then from there, we met you in your community. Mm-hmm.
Right. We went back to my house. Ashley and TW came with me back in the car to the house. And then people just started showing up to the house. And then, we went to lunch. We went to lunch. Yeah, we went to lunch at our house, at our clubhouse. I had I don't know how many people. It was probably 20 people there, right, for lunch? And
yeah, it was a pretty good number.
After that, we came back to my house, so everyone can come, hang out, see the new house. And then what did we do? After everybody came, saw the house, they left.
It was the rehearsal.
And then we had to run to the, yes. We had to run to the museum for rehearsal.
No, not the museum, the hotel, the Embassy Suites.
No, we went to the museum first for rehearsal.
Right.
Rehearsal. After rehearsal, we went to barbecue. Yeah, it was crazy.
And then everything's half an hour away. So it's not like we're doing this and it's okay, it's next door. Everything's a half-hour drive from every place. I don't know how that works out like that. But everything's so far.
It is far. It takes a while to getting used to it, driving. Right now, my commute to work or my new job, it'll be half an hour. And I'm not used to that because I'm used to going on 287, 10 minutes, I'm there,
Yeah.
So,
half an hour, that's I don't know. It's like going to Parsippany or Randolph from where I live every day, for everything. For everything and anything. Everything's 30 minutes away. That's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, it was nuts. So then so we went to rehearsal, and we went to rehearsal dinner, and it was the cocktail hour first, and we had cocktail hours, and everyone was there that came from out of town, and I kept screwing everybody's name up. I felt so bad because I hadn't seen these people, Michelle and Arnold's friends. I hadn't seen them in forever, and I'm screwing their names up. I'm oh my God, I'm so sorry. It was just overwhelming.
I know.
Hosting.
It's hard when it's a bunch of when it's a bunch of different people, then you get everyone's names confused.
I love a party. I love a party, and I love hosting parties. We had the disco party, and we have a lot of my birthday parties at my place, but it's a bigger scale. At that amount of people, it's just I wasn't ready for it. And it wasn't even that much. It was only 100 people, but it's still a difference than a house party versus an actual wedding with so many people. So many people are pulling you left and right. So that was our Friday night, and then the dinner didn't end till what time, Abby? Ash?
Oh, I don't know.
Barbecue.
Ashley left a little early from the barbecue.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, you left early. I had to stay there. I was one of the last people, and at the barbecue. At what time did we get home? I don't even remember. But it was late. And then the next morning, we had to wake up again because at 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday, we had to go to hair and makeup, and that was a whole day there. So while other people, the other wedding guests, were able to rest and, do whatever they wanted
Enjoy the day. You
guys had to be up early with me, and prepping for this wedding. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot of running around, and I think you asked me on Sunday how I like Raleigh. I'm I didn't really get to see Raleigh.
Yeah,
I didn't really get to see the town. So one of these days we'll have to make it a point to go to visit, but I really don't feel like I got to enjoy this trip, as far as seeing the town and the surroundings, because it was just going from place to place. Yeah.
Well, I think it was difficult because you guys were there as guests, but you also were as part of my, as the bridal, how do they call it? The
bridal party.
The bridal party, exactly. So you guys had things to do. You had to be at the rehearsal with us at the museum. You had to, you know what I mean? And it was like you had to be at hair and makeup. It was just crazy. It was crazy. And it was never ending. It was nuts. I mean, it came out beautiful. Everything was beautiful, but I'm not going to lie. I was having many meltdowns all day Saturday up until the wedding. And then, and then after the wedding, after all the partying and hosting and this and that, wake up early the next day on Sunday because we had to go to brunch. So,
it was non-stop. It really was non-stop. But, as long as you were happy and you enjoyed your wedding weekend, that's all that matters.
Well,
you're happy to be there.
Someone was asking me, like, Jeffrey's family was asking me, like, oh, did you enjoy the wedding? I'm like, well, it's hard. It's hard to enjoy something when you don't even have a chance to, like, finish your drink or, like, finish a bite to eat. You know what I mean? So, yes, I did enjoy it. It was an experience. You know what I mean? It was definitely an experience having a wedding. Like, getting married in Vegas, like, was not the same as this wedding at all. At all. Vegas was more laid back, and it was not, all these time constraints, and we had to go. And then, but yeah, like, I didn't even get to eat the food. I barely, like, got to have some cake. And
wow. Well, I mean, I didn't get to eat the food either, but I didn't get to eat the food for other reasons. It's hard, like, I think only for listeners, we did the ceremony, and then I ended up leaving pretty much right after because the baby wasn't feeling well. Like, I took him to the bathroom to nurse him, and he was all red and broken out, and then he threw up on me, and I was just like, you know what, time to take this kid, home.
Yeah. I was so upset about that.
I was bummed out. I was in the bathroom in this, like, dingy little staff bathroom all the way in the back, and I just kept hearing all the music. I was like, no, they're doing it without me. Everything.
It was
the first dance.
Huh? Yeah, I wasn't expecting. Well, I knew the first dance was going to happen right away, but I didn't expect, like, the horror to be right away. And
yeah, me either. That was, like, a surprise. I was like, whoa, this is happening. They banged it out of the way. Well, I'm telling you, I was in the bathroom. I was in there for not very long either, maybe, like, 15, 20 minutes. And then that time, like, they had done everything, like, all the traditional things. I'm like, oh, my God, I just missed the whole wedding.
Yeah, basically, you missed, like, all the big events. Because it happened like boom, 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 boom. Sorry. It happened boom, 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 boom. It was so crazy. And it was just, I didn't get to sit and enjoy it, but like looking back now after, a couple of days have passed, I've been able to recoup. My feet were on fire. Like, they were hurting so bad by the end of the night. Like, they were so swollen. But like now that I'm able to look back at the pictures and I'm like, oh, it was so nice. And, I'm glad that, it was in that venue and we just it was a nice time, and it was a nice memory. But, like, a bride, I don't know. I guess our listeners can let us know if they had a wedding like this. Did you guys enjoy your wedding? Like, did you get a chance to eat or drink? Like, I don't know. I think I was drinking more champagne before the ceremony than after. Like, I didn't get a chance to really sit down and, get a bite to eat.
Yeah.
Well, I really liked the venue for the wedding. It was really, really nice, and it actually, like, completely took away the need for any excess or extra decoration besides, like, little blossoms on the table. And even that you really didn't need because, there's so much beautiful artwork in the venue. I think the only thing that I would do just a little different is that it was just so spread out. Like, the museum was it was modern, so there was a lot of light, beautiful natural light and open space, but we were so far away from each other. Like, I'm just used to, being a little more close. So, like, the bar area was all the way over there.
the dance area was all the way in the front to the eating area. So I just felt like our small party got even further spread out. So that was one thing that I wish that I think would have helped you as well, like being able to just see everybody and then get a chance to eat and stuff. But it was just such a big space that you probably didn't even get a chance to see everybody because they were so spread out.
That's probably true too. I don't know. I didn't think of it that way, but you know, I don't know. I felt like I danced a little bit. I did get to dance, which I love to dance. So you know that I had to get out there and you know move a little bit. But I just felt like, you know what it was? It was just so many people. Like, it was just a lot of people for me. I'm not used to these huge gatherings of people because...
How many people was it?
It was like 100 people. It was about 100. But when everybody's coming to you, you know, congratulations, you look beautiful. Let me take a picture. Come here, you look beautiful. Like, I had a lot of things, you know. We had the first dance, then we had the horror. That took a while. Then we had the speech done by Arnold, then the cake cutting, and then, you know, you dance a little bit. Like, I went out there and danced just because that helped me relax a little bit. But then, like, I don't know. The time flew. I didn't get to do a lot of photo booth stuff. You know what I mean? Like, crazy. So.
Yeah. I mean, I remember my baby shower being kind of crazy in the sense of it flew by so quickly. And
it did.
I mean, it was much smaller, you know, it was 50 people, but still, like, I feel like the time went by so fast and everyone's pulling you for a picture. And it's really, you know, it's hard to attend to everybody.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I do better with smaller groups of people. But it was, you know, at the end of the day, it was beautiful. It was a good experience. You know, we had some little minor crisis. Like, my nail broke, and I had to run to the nail salon that day and get it fixed, you know, like little minor crisis. And my lashes were, like, coming out because I was, like, so panicked and crying.
Charlotte to the rescue.
I know so much. She had to literally glue my lashes. She ripped them off to back on. And I was like, going everywhere. It was like,
speaking of the lashes, I feel like the MVP of the whole wedding should go to Rebecca because she was always on point. She came with the scissors when we needed her. When Mommy lost her little paper of the blessing that she had to read, she came back with a printout, like, in a minute. And this is all, anytime we needed her, Rebecca was somewhere. When I needed to nurse the baby and she found the bathroom for me all the way in the back, brought me a chair. And I was like, okay, well, now I need to take off my dress. Did you hold the baby? And, like, she held the baby for me while I undressed.
Oh, my goodness.
She was awesome.
She was excellent. Yeah, she was excellent. I don't think we could have done it without her or Richard. You know, they were just taking care of everything.
They were a great team. Ashley, what was your favorite, your favorite moment from the wedding or wedding weekend? What did you enjoy the most?
Wow, one of my favorite moments for the wedding weekend.
I'm going to ask everybody this.
Oh, really?
I want to be a little selfish and say that it was our photo shoot, like, on Friday morning. I think it was my favorite part because it was just us, you know, and it's something that I've always wanted to do, you know, since George passed away. It's something that I really wanted to do, and it was such a beautiful area, and we had a great photographer. Like, you know, we were just all, you know, I think it was just, like, right before the shit hit the fan. So, yes,
that's true.
It was like, yes, it was early in the morning, but, you know, we didn't have all that fire stress. You know, we knew it was kind of coming, but it hadn't, like, actually come upon us just yet. And it was just a nice, like, experience for all of us. I know we got time to spend time together, to laugh, or whatever. And that was my favorite part of the weekend.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And I agree about, I guess that was like the quiet before the storm.
Yes, it was. It was nice. It was nice.
What about you, Cindy? If you had to pick one favorite, moment or thing from the wedding, obviously, besides remarrying the love of your life, what would you say? What was your favorite thing about the wedding weekend?
The favorite thing? I don't know. I thought it was nice to, besides the photo shoot, I thought it was nice to be in the room with the girls, getting our hair and makeup done like that. That is, what I intended. Me getting, I hired Aja from the Enhanced Bella Squad. She did, I think, in my opinion, she did a very great job considering everybody she had to work on and all the hair and things. And, yes, there were some things that went awry, but I think that, my nieces, our nieces that came from Florida, they were able to hang out with us and, and it was just like, before it started getting hectic, it was nice. It's like,
before, the girls were nice. The Bella Squad girls were very nice. I love what they did with the room and how they had all the goodies there. That was unexpected and a nice touch.
Yeah, they took care. I mean, they
I wish I was able to actually eat and drink what they provided, but
seriously, I don't know where the time went. It was just crazy, and I was just
I remember thinking 8 a.m. was going to be too early for hair and makeup, but it wasn't even enough time, right, Ashley?
It wasn't enough time. No, actually, I left at 3 o'clock. I left the hotel at 3 o'clock, and Michelle hadn't even started her makeup. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I think, I don't know what happened, how they left it, but she came after I got to the museum. I was the first one there. It was just me in my wedding dress, and Michelle came shortly after. I mean, her makeup was done, but not. It was like she kind of rushed it and probably left, But it was 3 o'clock, and we had to be at the hotel. At the museum at 3:30, and the museum was half an hour away from where we were doing our hair and makeup.
Yeah.
So I left in just the nick of time to be there on time.
Yeah.
It was a little.
We had plenty of time. Once we got there, even though everyone kind of got there a little late, but once we were done with the pictures, we had, I felt like this was the most on-time wedding ever.
I agree.
We started on time. Everything was on time.
We were killing time before the ceremony. We were all just
and that's no easy feat in our family. Being on time.
I know, but Arnold AD was like, the ceremony starting 6:15, no matter what. You know what I mean? Come rain. I don't care if Jeffrey and Cindy are not there. We're starting.
But it wasn't even like we were rushing for the ceremony. I felt like we were waiting around for a good amount of time for the ceremony.
I think they just made us come so early. That's why we were so exhausted, because we had to be there so early. And then I don't know. It's just I guess it's just their policy, because maybe some other families want to take the gazillion pictures. We took pictures, but it wasn't we took 2 hours
we didn't take
pictures.
that many pictures. At least us with bridesmaids and you, we just took 2 or 3 in the beginning, and then we took the family pictures, by the way.
Yeah, I was over it by then. I was like, enough already. Let's just get this over and done with, So, and we had all been awake since the crack of dawn for the last 3 days,
Yeah.
So,
it was pretty exhausting, huh?
Maddie,
what was your favorite part? My favorite part, believe it or not, it was those early mornings. My Jose Luis, which for the listeners, that's our older brother, our older half-brother from my father's side. He came up from Florida with his 2 daughters, and every morning at 7 a.m. there was a knock on our door in the hotel. And it was him and the girls, and it was nice. We just had, I called it the land of misfit toys. We were, it was a nice hodgepodge group in our room at all times. We had Lewis in there. It was Mom, me, Josh, the baby, Jose Luis and his daughters. It was just fun. We had a lot of fun.
At 7 in the morning? But why did they come so early?
Well, Jose Luis said he would be up like at 5 in the morning and was just like waiting patiently to wake up the girls, and then like by 7 he had enough. Like, okay, get up, time to go.
Wow.
So they would come up, they would come early. I don't know, I felt like I spent a lot of quality time with them and with the girls, which I hadn't. Yeah, you didn't get to enjoy that, but we, you know, that was one of the good things about staying in the hotel, that we all ended up staying there. I mean, a lot of people. I know Charlotte didn't, but it was just nice. And actually, Charlotte crashed our place early one morning too. On Sunday, she came.
Yeah, on Sunday. I was there at like 5 a.m.
And you know when we get together, like, there is just nonstop talking. Like, all the drive home, like, I had to tell Mom, like, Mom, I need to take a break from talking for like an hour because my throat was on fire from like talking nonstop. We talked nonstop. Imagine a 10-hour drive there, a 12-hour drive back, plus like sleeping in the same room. It was crazy, but it was fun.
But it was nice bonding time for you guys.
It really was. Besides the waking up at 5 in the morning to like do the meeting, or you know, waking up at 3:30 because she was like, I don't know, talking to herself. She talks to herself in the middle of the night. Who knew?
What did she say? What was she saying? I wish I was a fly on the wall.
What was she saying? I'm Charlosita. That's all she was saying.
What? What did she say?
She was, I'm Charlosita.
Oh, God.
At like 3:30 in the morning. I was like, just go back to sleep.
Oh my God, you're keeping her awake at night.
I know.
So why?
Mom, that's what moms do. But yeah, so. But other than that, yeah, I enjoyed spending time with everyone. It was fun. I hadn't seen Lewis in forever, and we got to spend a lot of time with Tim, and I hadn't seen Jose Luis and the girls, so it was nice. Plus, I felt like for the first time, you know, I actually got to bond with the girls. Like, got to get to know them a little better and their personalities, and I don't know, it was nice. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed that. Yeah. And unfortunately, like I said, I didn't get to actually enjoy the wedding party, but I loved the ceremony too. I thought it was beautiful. The whole actual ceremony was beautiful. I got teary-eyed seeing you walk down the aisle. Aww. It was a nice moment. It was. It was a nice moment just because of all the like craziness leading up to it. It was like, you know, when you walked down the aisle and you met up with Jeff. Under the chuppah, it was just kind of like, okay, this was what this was all leading to. Like, none of all that stuff mattered. The makeup, the nail, any little petty drama that happened, like, none of that mattered. That this was the moment we were all here for. So I thought that was a beautiful, that was one of my other favorite moments, too.
And another thing that made it really sweet. And another thing that made, I think, the wedding ceremony extra special, especially for us, because we aren't Jewish, and it was a Jewish ceremony, and I thought it was much easier to comprehend. Like, I thought the rabbi that you and Jeff chose made it super easy to understand. He made it lighthearted. Like, he was just very personable. And
he's great.
Yeah, you know, he just made it completely... You know, it was just such a beautiful ceremony. Yeah, approachable. Like, I didn't feel as if I was coming into someone else's religion or, you know, tradition. Like, he made us feel, all of us, a part of it.
He was so great. I was so nervous when it's funny you mentioned that, because I was nervous when I first met him. I'm like, oh my God, like, this is weird. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm not Jewish, and I just thought it was just like, you know, we wanted to have not traditional, because I have been to other Jewish weddings and there's a lot more that goes into it, and they do all this other stuff. We didn't do all of that, but when I met him, I was like, oh, I instantly liked him, because he just put me at ease right away. And I don't know if you guys knew, he was Spanish. I heard. Yeah, he was really just so nice. And it was
the ceremony, everyone said that. Everyone that came to the wedding, they were like, the ceremony was beautiful. It was enough. It was traditional, but it was laid back. You know what I mean? And I think he was very open and involved everybody. You know, it was more, I don't know, it was nice. The only thing I didn't like about the ceremony is that I couldn't really hear the 7 blessings when you guys were reading it, because we had water running, like, and I couldn't really hear it, and you guys were facing the crowd, but that's the only thing that I kind of missed, and I wanted, you know, but anyways, it's fine. Other than that, it was beautiful. Yeah, it was nice.
So I have an email of my blessing if you want to hear it.
Do you want to say it? Say it real quick.
Now we have to find it. Hold on a second.
I love it.
Actually, as we're speaking about our favorite times this weekend, like, I think this one segment we want to dedicate, our sisters are doing it for themselves, to our photographer, Casey. She was so amazing. I think you girls would agree. Like she was very, very nice. By the end of the session, I felt like, come lunch with us. I mean, I met Casey a couple years back. Actually, when we first, at least when I first started photography, we met at a workshop, like a beginner's photography workshop. And we stayed in contact ever since. I always send her a Christmas card. She always sends me one. And we're Facebook friends. Nice. And we're Facebook friends and Instagram friends. And, you know, like, we always support each other's business. We haven't seen each other since the workshop back in, I would say it was like 2009 or 2010. But we've been in touch since, and when I knew that the wedding was down there and we were going to be down there, I thought, you know what, I have the perfect photographer for our family pictures that we've been meaning to take. And so I'm glad it all worked out. She was super accommodating, and I think she put us all at ease because we were kind of anxious about all these pictures. I don't know about you guys, but I know I was. I don't like being in front of the camera. That's why I'm a photographer. So I thought she did a really good job of telling us what to do and posing us, and I'm really excited to see what they come out looking at.
Yeah, she really did a great job. I appreciated her work, and she was good at giving directions, you know, in a nice way. Because I mean, I've gotten those taken before, but it's so hard. Like, you feel tense. Like, you didn't feel that way around her. So she was awesome.
I'm also excited to see your wedding pictures because I know you and Jeff went off to take some pictures that we didn't get to see. So I'm curious to see what your photographer came up with.
Yeah,
and I hope he was able to capture all the moments that I wasn't there for either.
Yeah, well, it's funny that, you know, because one of our friends down here in North Carolina, Kathy, she came up on the photographer and was like, well, put them over here, then put them at that light. And I was like, oh my God. But most of the pictures I had already uploaded on Facebook were from Kathy. Kathy took those pictures, you know what I mean? So yeah, I yet to see. He said 2 weeks, and then I'll get the professional pictures. But to be honest with you, sometimes I like those candids. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because they capture the moment and the party as they are going on, and it's just more natural.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to seeing them. I tried my best not to, like, intrude on his work because I personally hate it when I'm shooting a wedding and when people are in your face telling you what to do or how to do it, and that's why even though I'm a photographer, I totally backed off with him and let him do his job because that's what he was getting paid for,
Correct.
Yeah. So I didn't input much, but I'm very curious to see how the pictures turn out. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm curious also. So we'll see. They should be coming in 2 weeks, and our family picture should be coming in about 2 weeks also.
So, question for Charlotte. So this was your first couples getaway with your boyfriend, W. How was that?
It was really, really good. I actually was not worried about it. Most of the time, I don't know what you weren't worried
because normally, when those first trips, that's like, I feel like that's any relationship test, not just boyfriend and girlfriend, but also like friendship tests, going away with each other.
Right. And yeah, I agree. Like most times I would be nervous, when I'm traveling with new friends or a new relationship. But this time I wasn't really nervous. I mean, me and TW, we basically are together every day. I don't even know how we make it work, but I guess because he works from home, it's very flexible. But I have to say, like, shout out to TW because he really, I think he was an awesome travel buddy, and he was so supportive, and he was just there every time I needed him.
Yeah, he was there when we needed him. Sometimes I'd be like, TW, can you watch Jonas?
Yeah, exactly. And like he always just kept repeating, like, I'm here for you. So, one time, like I think it was Thursday or Friday, when I was like, what, I need to go back to the the Airbnb and just take a nap because I feel like a headache coming on. You already know me. And he's like, I'm following you, so I didn't have to worry about inconveniencing him. And he was just really amazing. He was very comfortable to be around, and he was a perfect partner. It was a good trip. It was a good trip. Yeah, it was very good. So I'm looking forward to future trips.
Yay. Good. That's good to hear. Yeah, there's nothing worse than going on a trip with, like I said, either a boyfriend or a friend, and it's just, they're not good travel buddies.
No, I've had those in the past.
We've all had those in the past. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've all had them in the past. And, that could be a relationship ruiner, so.
For real.
Let's move on to the hot product. All right, so you go first then. What's
the hot product of the week? Oh, okay. Sorry. So my hot product of the week is called The Revolution by Misha. It's Misha the Revolution First Treatment Essence. And I don't know if you guys know this, I am very into Korean skincare and Asian skincare. I've got into it a few years back, and anyway, so I bought this, and this is the first treatment essence. It's part of the skincare that, Asian women, they do an extensive skincare. So when I bought this years ago, I didn't know how to use it, and now I've done some research, and so I stopped buying it. I was like, I don't know what this is doing for me, but I bought it again, and I really, really love it. It's called a treatment essence, but really what it is it's a toner. And as soon as you wash your face, you put this Misha Time Revolution on your face. It's like water. It's not thick at all. It's basically like water. And what it has is it contains 80% fermented yeast concentrate. And basically what that does is the yeast produces enzymes for your skin, which produce vitamins, antioxidants, and amino acids, and it helps the skin. And I really just feel like it's very hydrated now. You know what I mean? Like, how your skin can get, like, the water here in North Carolina is so dry. I noticed, like, since I moved from New Jersey down to North Carolina, my skin is dry, like, all over my body, and it's, like, hard to retain the moisture. And you can, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, anyways, after I cleanse, I put this on. It has done wonders. I love it. And so it just has the yeast that's really, it's very good for skincare. There's a lot of studies that go into, like, fermented products like this, how good it is for your skin. But it also has niacinamide and vitamin D, which is, all helps. It helps the barrier of your skin. So the barrier to maintain the plumpness of your skin and to get any, bacteria out, like acne-causing bacteria to not come into those pores. Okay. And it has been really life-changing. That's my hot product.
Good.
Well, I should try it out. Yes, it is. Have you guys heard of SK2? That brand SK2?
No.
Okay, well, that's an SK2 dupe. SK2 is basically the same thing. It's another Asian company, but it's like sold in Sephora and it's higher end. This is a dupe of the SK2 essence. So this, I would seriously, if you haven't done so already, if you're really, serious about your skin and considering, now that we're in our 30s, or I'm in my 30s now, paying attention to everything, I would seriously consider it. Because it's a dupe. It's much cheaper, but it works fabulous. So.
Okay, cool.
That's mine. What about yours, Charlotte?
Mine was something that I've heard of before, but I've never actually used it, and this weekend was super handy. I was trying to reschedule my flight, and the fee to just reschedule it was like $300, and I had to purchase another flight. It was like insane. So GW suggested that I look for another flight. So I was looking for another flight, and then we opened this app called Skipwag, and it suggested it was insane because like a direct flight from Raleigh to Newark was I think it was $307, like $300 and $307, and then when you typed it into Skipwag, it was a price for $120. I think it was. I think it was $120, and when I went to go buy it, the way that they found that ticket was it was a layover from it was actually a ticket from Raleigh.
I've heard of it, but I never actually heard someone use it. So explain to us a little bit how it works.
Okay, so basically, when I looked in like Expedia, a direct flight from Raleigh to Newark Airport was $307. When I entered it into Skipwag, they found me a ticket for $174. But then when I went to go purchase it, I was like, I was a little scared because it said Raleigh to Miami. But then when you look at the details, there was a layover in Newark. So it's the same exact flight from Raleigh to Newark, but it's like a layover. The final destination would have been Miami.
So you just didn't hop on the second flight.
Right, and I had to make sure, and thank God I was in group 3, like on the boarding, so I was able to just hold on to my luggage. I think that's the only way that this kind of thing is going to work, is if you have like a carry-on luggage, because obviously if you check your flight, it'll check to your final destination.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So I was able to get off on Newark and board my carry-on, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. It was less than half the price. So if you haven't used Skipwag, check it out, and I think it's worth it. I was so amazed, and I'm like, I'm definitely using this again.
You know what?
For sure.
I had read an article about Skipwag years ago, when they first came out, that the airlines wanted to sue them, or they did sue them, something like that. That they wanted to sue them because of their savings, because they somehow managed to find a way to find these cheaper flights for people that, necessarily airlines, it's ridiculous what they charge, for a 1 hour flight.
But I guess they weren't breaking any rules. You don't have to check into your next flight.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I guess not, because they're still there. So if you haven't used it, definitely check it out, because in a pinch it worked, and I was able to rest at home.
So you changed your flight. You were supposed to leave on Monday.
I was supposed to leave on Monday, but I wanted to come home earlier because I was just going to be in Raleigh, just hanging out, and I was so tired, and I'm so grateful that I was able to change my flight, because that way I could have rested here instead of, staying there and then still have to come back to New Jersey on Monday night and then come to work on Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no,
you got an extra day.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm going to use that.
Well, my hot product this week is kind of related to the wedding weekend. So, last minute I decided to change my dress, and I went Saturday before the wedding and went crazy, spent the day at the mall, the better part of the day looking for a dress. So, I didn't have time to get shoes, and it was just upon me. I really didn't have the time during the week with work and everything to get to the mall to buy shoes. So I ordered on Zappos, and I got it overnight mailed for free, which was pretty neat. I ordered 2 different sets of shoes, I read the reviews, so I kind of knew what I was getting myself into, like how they ran and whether they were comfortable or not. So I bought 2 shoes. One was higher than, and one was lower heel, and I got them both the next day, free shipping and free returns too. So I ended up wearing the higher heel shoes, which I was surprised.
Right.
I thought I was going to want to wear the shorter heel. Huh?
Is the overnight shipping free all the time, or what was it, a
free all
promotion?
the time. No, it's free all the time.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's great. Crazy.
I used to, honestly, back in the day when I was in the Zappos kick and Uggs were the thing, I bought everyone's Uggs on Zappo for Christmas, and it was like overnight delivery, and it was so easy. And the returns are so easy too, because I've returned them in the past, and I think you have up until a year to return your shoes.
Wow,
and
great.
It's free overnight and free return shipping, and it's the best. I love Zappos, and their customer service is excellent.
You know that I paid $12 for a 2-day shipping of my shoes that I wore at the barbecue because I, again, had the same experience. I didn't have time. I wanted to get a pair of shoes, and I paid $12 on ASOS, which I didn't think was too bad. So I paid it. So now that I know, I'm going to have to use ASOS.
Yeah, use them because it's free overnight shipping. You have to, it's a VIP.zappos.com. I didn't pay anything for the VIP membership. I just think you have to sign up on the VIP site, but it's free overnight shipping.
Wow.
And,
that's awesome.
And it's awesome. And for me, Zappos saved the day because I had no shoes.
Yeah, so. I mean, there's so many times when, like, shoes are always, I feel like, the last thing that I worry about because they go on your feet. Like, I don't know. It's not always the first thing that I worry about. The priority, right. So that's so good to know. Yeah, for sure. And the reviews were helpful?
Yeah, the reviews were helpful. I thought I was going to fare better. Like, I thought I was going to like the shorter heel better, but I ended up liking the higher heel, and I felt it was much more comfortable. I think the other ones were like a day or stay style, so those are kind of hard to keep on your feet.
That's true, too. You have to have good support for them to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my pick for this week. Yeah. So I guess moving on to our last segment of the show. I know Cindy's in her honeymoon, so we want to let her go.
Let me go!
Yeah, so the question of this week is, when you travel, what do you prefer, Airbnb or hotel? We'll start with Charlotte, and then we'll go around.
Okay. Well, for me, Airbnb is something that I, like, you guys actually discovered with you girls. I think my first experience was when we went to Cambridge, right, Madeline? With me, you and Cambridge? Yeah, I think that was my first experience with Airbnb, and ever since I've been kind of hooked because I like it. We went to New Orleans. That was the year that we did a couple trips together, me and you. We went to New Orleans, and we stayed there for, like, I think 3 or 4 days, and it was, like, a small little hotel room. There was no, like, sitting area. There was no, like, kitchen area. So it was, like,
tight.
It was tight, you know? So it was just, like, there was no room to, like, you know, if somebody's getting changed, to get out of their way. You know what I mean? And I rarely travel alone. Like, I actually never traveled alone. So whenever I travel with somebody else. So I like the convenience of having extra space to spread out to. Like if someone's taking a shower or getting ready in the bedroom, I can go hang out in the living room or make myself something to eat in the kitchen, or if it's a nice weather, go hang out in the back porch or whatever. You know, and I find that it's much more cheaper. Usually I like that it's kind of like a check-in and check-out and do whatever you want kind of a thing. And that wasn't my experience this trip, but usually that is my experience. But so I recently prefer Airbnb. The only time that I would say go for a hotel is, you know, when you're going to like Mexico or Dominican Republic where you can get like an all-inclusive deal. I think that's kind of more comfortable in those situations. But so far, I've been pro Airbnb.
Good.
Great. Yeah.
Cindy, your turn. What do you prefer?
Well, I have stayed at both. I have stayed at the Airbnb where we went to New Orleans with the whole big group, and that was nice because it was a big group. We had a whole apartment, and it worked out. That was, and then like going out to eat, like it's better because, you're just saving money if you get food and like cook it there,
right?
Type of thing. And I stay at hotels. I'm in a hotel right now at the Grand Bohemian here in Nashville. It's very nice. It's like a weird deck decor. But anyways, my thing is this. I don't prefer one or the other. It just depends on what I'm going to do. For instance, like this hotel room, you can see it's a little bigger. We got a little bigger size, and it's just the two of us, and it's a more relaxing weekend. We're going to eat here at the hotel. You know what I mean? We don't go, then you go to the spa. Like, we're not going to go out and explore. Like, I think that if I was staying at an Airbnb, like, for instance, if I went to Canada or if I went to Mexico City, like you had gone to an Airbnb, right, Maddie?
Yeah.
Mexico City. And I wanted to explore, go to New Orleans. Then I was, and like with a group of people or with more people, then definitely I would, stay at an Airbnb. We stayed at an Airbnb in Raleigh when we were looking to move down here. And it was nice because we were able to explore the city. It was a laid-back feel. We had the entire apartment, and it was just not as, and it was a few days. As far as a hotel, this is, a quick trip. If it's just like a quick trip, I'm not doing too much exploring. I'm not going to be in and out, in and out, in and out. You know what I mean? Just laid back. And I think that I would do a hotel better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it depends on the trip, if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It does. Now, me, as you girls mentioned, I always do I try to do Airbnb whenever I go, especially like the big cities. When we've gone to San Francisco, when we went to London, we went to Mexico City, internationally. If it's a sightseeing trip in a big city, I tend to find Airbnbs to be the best because you get that insider experience.
Right, you feel the experience of living in the city.
Yeah, you live in the city, you're usually in residential areas, so, you get to explore it from a different point of view. But in this trip, actually, I ended up staying at the hotel, the designated hotel, and normally I don't like hotels, but I love this hotel, the Embassy Suites. It was also kind of spacious. It has a room area and a living room area, so I felt like it was great for our purposes. So it had kind of like that Airbnb feel, and for convenience factor, because that 30-minute drive to everywhere is exhausting. So just having that extra 30 minutes, the day of the rehearsal, that we were able to go to our room and just come right downstairs where the rehearsal dinner was at, that we were able to like get up, go to breakfast, and like walk up the stairs to where the hair and makeup room was. That was so convenient, especially with the baby. So normally I'm Airbnb, but this trip I'm so glad that we did the hotel, the Embassy Suites. They were great. The breakfast was great every morning, and we had a great time. So, I guess it depends on the scenario. I'm with Cindy in that one.
I'm glad. Woo-hoo. No, I mean, it's definitely also about location. You know what I'm saying? If your Airbnb, like you said, if you're staying in a big city and you're in the middle of the city and that's where the Airbnb, and that's where you want to be. You don't want to be, like, in a hotel by the airport. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And not be in the middle of town. So, I mean, that definitely does it, too. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's all we have for this week, right, ladies?
Yeah.
It was nice getting together. I know it was a little crazy with after the wedding, but I'm so glad we were able to get together. And Cindy, we love seeing you in your new home.
I love seeing you. Got so glad that, we had this, you were able to spend this moment with, Jeff and I, and it was beautiful. I can't wait till I go to New Jersey now.
I know. We can't wait to have you up here and enjoy your honeymoon, right?
Thank you. Yes, a little honeymoon. We need a little retreat.
I know. And next week you start your new job, right?
Right. Maybe that'll be next week's episode. I'll let you know how it's going.
You'll let us know, and then we'll have to fill you in as well and what's going on in our lives. Our lives have been Charlotte. Our lives have been pretty uneventful for the last couple of weeks compared to Sydney, but
oh yeah,
I'm sure that'll change pretty soon. So
right.
Anyway, have a good night.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Night.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.